Hey YouTube! So I need to make a video about this because it's at the point now where I'm too upset. A little bit of a disclaimer, I am pissed off, so please take me with the small Siberian salt mine that's needed. But apparently I have the best luck in the world for walking into accidents. A couple months ago, and I'll link it, Julian and I walked in on a woman who had gotten hit by a car, and her 3-year-old girl's, poor thing's, brains was all over the place. And so today I was on my way to the SkyTrain and walk into a crunch and a announcement over the PA that the station is now closed. Awesome. Because somebody, for a medical emergency, is what they said. Yeah. When I finally popped my head up where I was, I saw it. It was a jumble of arms and legs in the cup links of the front car of the train that was leading downtown into the tunnel. I will tell you that according to the Vancouver Sun, the man did live, but they won't say whether or not it was a suicide attempt. And they don't say what his condition is currently. He was alive at the scene. So when I saw what didn't look like living, it did not look like living. He was apparently still alive. But with the nature of the stations, it's really hard to slip. Unless, you're wearing slick butter shoes and, unless you're trying. It's pretty hard to slip if you're following the safety guidelines and etiquette that are part of using the train out here. So, pretty obvious that it was a suicide attempt. And you see, my reaction to it was anger. I'm right pissed off at this guy. And every time that, this is not the first time that I've been delayed due to a suicide attempt on the train. And I have to say, every time I've been pissed off at the person. Let me explain. You see, I've dealt with depression. I originally started feeling this way when I was taken off Ritalin at about the age of 9. And it was also the time that my parents divorced. And I finally, when one is on Ritalin, and a lot of people know if it's not prescribed to the right person, you wind up becoming a zombie child with no idea of what emotions were. So at 9 years old, I was starting to deal with the emotions of losing my grandfather. At 4, I was starting to deal with the emotions of my parents. Like, it all went whoosh. And I wound up with an anxiety problem, which I still have. And through high school, it became progressively worse and worse. I did attempt suicide. I considered it. I'm somebody that plans everything out, so I had planned it out exactly. And the big clincher, the big reason why I didn't ever go through with it, was I saw myself as so worthless that I was not worth cleaning up. Plain and simple. And from talking to the depressed people that I know, it's pretty unanimous that when you're feeling that bad, why would you want to burden other people with yourself? You're not even worth burdening somebody else with their time or, their effort. So, seeing stuff like that, seeing people who jump in front of trains at rush hour on a Monday, I can't help but be pissed off at you. Because, yeah, your life might suck. Yeah, I can guarantee there's something going on in your head. But couldn't it have waited 2 hours? Still could jump in front of the train. But you know what? You wouldn't be causing as many problems in other people's lives. And I know it sounds really catty of me and really grumpy of me and really mean of me. But as somebody who understands the mindset of a lot of those kind of people, I can't help but sit there and go, you're selfish. And you really think you're worth that much? If you're willing to take your life, it can wait. This reminds me of my ex's grandmother, who would attempt suicide attempt after suicide attempt. She'd give herself just enough pills so that she would overdose, but not enough to knock her out completely, or make it so they couldn't save her. And then put herself in positions where people would find her, like her granddaughter and her daughter and her her siblings and stuff like that. Okay? When it finally came down to the time that she overdosed herself that one last time and finally offed herself, you know what? Nobody gave a shit. Because that was the 10th attempt. You know? I just... Suicide is one of those things that's like, really, people? I understand. If you feel that your life is empty, and I can understand. It's your body. You have the right to do with it as you will. But don't burden other people when you end your life. I think that's just rude. It's poor form. Personally, I think the best way, and I'm not endorsing suicide in any way, as a major disclaimer, but the best way would be write a nice, pleasant goodbye letter. Make everyone understand that it's not about them, it's about you. Leave the letter behind. Don't say where you're going. And then walk into the woods. Just go. Go to the woods. Find yourself somewhere where you know that there's bears or cougars or lions or something that, some sort of large predatory animal. And then you can do whatever you want. If you want to slit your wrists, go slit your wrists. Do it in the woods. You want to hang yourself? Hang yourself. There's lots of trees. You want to jump off something? Well, you know what? There's trees. Jump. Go ahead. You do whatever you want, but you know what? Those animals will benefit from you. You will not be doing any of your family harm in that they don't have to clean you up. Their last thoughts of you will not be picking up your soiled corpse. Instead, it'll be the pleasant letter that you left saying that you were done and that you respected them enough to deal with your body yourself. And I know, it sounds horrible. I know I sound like a total cow. I understand. Okay? All the haters out there, go ahead. Fly at her on this one. I don't care. This is entirely my opinion. I do not endorse suicide. I do not endorse people to go off and kill themselves. But if you're gonna do it right. Don't burden other people with anything. The worst thing you can do is to be that selfish in any walk, in any part of life, to burden other people with your presence. Anyway, I am totally done. Thank you for letting me rant, YouTube. I appreciate it. Let's hope tomorrow will be a better day and I don't have to see any more dead people. Well, at least no more bloody ones. Cheers.